Declaration of Independence. We are 5051 Philadelphia. We are a peaceful group. We advocate nonviolence, group protest, to tell our government to stay in their lane. Come on, executive overreach. At 5051, today we worked with our partners, Indivisible Philadelphia. Aren't they awesome? So folks, anybody see what's on regular mind? All right, you guys see what's on my shirt? Can you see that? Go Birds! Go Birds! F Trump! Go Birds! Go Birds!
Go Birds!
All right, let's see if that works.
Go Birds!
The Declaration of
Independence! In Congress, July 4, 1776. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of earth the separate and equal station to which laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed in light and in transient causes, and according to all experience hath shewn that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, and to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably to the same object, evidences a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained, and when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attain them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish the rights of representation to the legislature, a right insurmountable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with many firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time after such dissolutions to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their excise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all dangers and invasion from without and convulsions within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage the migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and for the amount of payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat of their substance. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislators. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and acknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation. For quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us, in many cases, of the benefits of trial by jury, by transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, altering fundamentally the forms of government, for suspending our own legislators and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. It is at this time, transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstance of cruelty and perfidy, scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens, taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections among us. He has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our own frontiers, the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act may define a tyrant, is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislator to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity. We have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and authority of the good people of these colonies solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states. and they are absolved from all allegiance to the British crown and all political connection to them and the state of Great Britain, and ought to be dissolved. And thus, as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, concede peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Thank you, and go Birds.
Good morning, good afternoon, how we doing? Let's get started. All right. My people, 250 years ago, revolution was born on these streets. Today, we reclaim that legacy. Friends, patriots, defenders of democracy, welcome to Philadelphia! 250 years ago, ordinary people took an extraordinary stand. They dared to imagine a world where power belonged not to kings, but to the people. Today, together, we stand where they stood, their fire still burning in our hearts.
You get it, girlfriend.
We are 5051 Philadelphia! That stands for 50 protests, 50 states, but one movement. We, as a coalition, are proud to stand in the footsteps of Invisible Philadelphia, who just 2 weeks ago brought 15,000 people together right over on that little hill over there. And they didn't even all fit. They said, hands off to those who would undermine our democracy. Back then, 2 weeks ago, we said, hands off our voting rights. Hands off our postal service. And hands off our communities.
Today, we face a different but a related challenge. We're gathering today to celebrate our complex, diverse, and painful history while confronting an extremely distressing future where we are ruled by this man who wants to be king.
A little slower.
The founders of this nation rebelled against monarchy 250 years ago, and today we must do the same.
Given the history of this city and the anniversary we are celebrating today, 250 years since the start of the revolution, our motto today is No Kings! So here we got chant. Ready? So when I say, we say, you say, No Kings! Are you ready? We say, No Kings! We say, No Kings! We say, No Kings!
From Independence Hall. Can you guys just turn over your shoulder and look at Independence Hall? Look at that building. Isn't that something? Okay, now turn back. From Independence Hall, the marble steps where the promise of liberty was etched in parchment, to Congo Square, where human beings were sold in chains. These streets remember. They remember the revolutionaries. Those revolutionaries declared that they would bow to no monarch. They would bow to no tyrant. They would bow to
And today we are facing our own tyrants. We are witnessing executive power reaching well beyond its constitutional boundaries. We see our fundamental rights under assault and our neighbors under assault. We are watching as an oligarchy seeks to silence us, to diminish our lives, and to take our lives.
So what started in this country 250 years ago wasn't just a rebellion against one king. It was a declaration against the very idea of unchecked power. So today, we at 5051 Philadelphia are fighting to defend the U.S. Constitution in the city where it was born.
Our event today mirrors the revolutionary path itself. We will begin with words to inspire. That's the rally, right? And what comes after the rally? Yeah. Then we march to demonstrate our resolve. And then what do? Then we rally again. We rally again to plan our next steps. Rally, march, rally. Rally, march, rally. Like the heartbeat of democracy itself. Our first three speakers will fuel our march with purpose. Then after the march, we're going to return right here for 4 more voices, yeah? Yes. Are you ready for your first 3 speakers?
Our first speaker understands deeply that the fight for economic justice and workers' rights was fundamental to the American Revolution and that it's still fundamental to our fight for rights today. The same forces that would crown kings would also exploit the labor of everyday Americans.
Right. So Richard Janetti. Richard Janetti is a former federal employee with the Small Business Association and the Social Security Administration. So he now works for the American Federation of Government Employees, or AFGE, an affiliate of AFL-CIO. Any AFGE member here? Anyone?
I saw one over there.
Woo! This is for you. How about AFL-CIO members? Anybody? Yeah! So AFGE represented Richard and over 800,000 other federal and DC government employees. Today, Richard is going to talk to us about respect for the worker. So please welcome our representative from the AFL-CIO affiliate, AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees, Richard Janetti.
Hello, Philadelphia. Thank you for inviting me here. 5051 and Indivisible, I appreciate the opportunity to speak on behalf of my fellow former federal workers now, federal workers in the future. The AFG represents 1 out of 3 federal employees. I'm proud to have this job. It's the job of a lifetime to fight for their dignity in the workplace. Let me say that a fight against an injury to one is an injury to all. I've been asked to speak to you today about the relationship between our immigrant community and the union community. Many of you know that some of our largest labor unions, the Laborers International Union in North America, the SEIU, the Service Workers International Union, and Unite Here are heavily filled with immigrant workers. We also stand with solidarity with the Domestic Workers Alliance. The union community and the immigrant community come together because they share many values that are the same. There's a value of mutual respect and dignity of human work. We share that value. We share the value of mutual aid and assistance. We also share the value of concerted action together, like the fingers of my hand that can be easily broken one by one together in concerted action, they cannot be broken. And the workers, the federal workers have devoted their lives to public service. My father was a federal employee for 35 years, my brother for 20 years, me for 9 years. People become federal employees not because of the money, because job for job they get 20 to 25% less than their private sector compatriots. They come to work for you. They come to work for the American people. Did you know that in the last shutdown in 2018, 1 out of 3 federal workers had to go to work without pay? But they did. They did because they love their jobs. They are honored to be working on behalf of the American people. Some of the things they do, they protect the air and the water that we breathe from pollution. They inspect the meat and the chickens that we eat. They get produced by factories so that they're safe. They provide Social Security to 73 million Americans so they can live a life of dignity and honor in their old age. A right that they deserve, a right that they paid for. Federal workers will not be bullied. We will not be intimidated. We love our jobs. The American people hired us in a competitive process so that we would serve them, so that we would do for them what they asked us to do. The American people, through Congress, created these agencies and fund these agencies and ask that these agencies be allowed to do their job. Who are you, Mr. Musk? Who are you, Mr. Trump, to say that 185 years of federal service should be wiped away? You are not a tyrant. We will not allow you to do that. So the values of mutual assistance and concerted action and brotherhood and fellowship and family unite our immigrant communities and our union families. And it's in that sense of shared values that I'm here today to speak on behalf of my union brothers and sisters, the AFL-CIO of Philadelphia, AFGE of 3rd District here in Pennsylvania and Delaware. And I say to you, if you're in a union, stand with our immigrant brothers and sisters. And if you're in an immigrant community, we are your friends and brothers. We stand with you. We will not let you be bullied. We share one other common value, by the way, besides the common value of mutual aid and assistance and the common value of belief in social justice and fairness, besides the common value of brotherhood and fellowship. We're under attack. Both of us are under attack. Union workers in federal government are under attack. Federal workers are under attack. And the immigrant community has been under attack by a racist, fascist group of people who wish to seize our government.
And his four fascists are Trump, Ben, Musk, and Putin. Fuck them all.
We stand with you. We stand together on the basis of our belief in justice, in freedom, in fairness, in compassion for our brothers and sisters, that we're all brothers and sisters who live together in this community, and it's our mutual strength and our mutual differences that make us stronger together than we are apart. I want to say one other thing personally, and that is that it's been an honor of my lifetime to work for the American Federation of Government Employees and to work the fight for the dignity of federal workers. They are your neighbors, they are your friends, they are the coach of your kids' baseball team, they are the deacons in your church, they're the lady that play the organ in your church and run the choir, they're the people that work in the soup kitchens on the weekends. They're members of our community. They love and share with all of us. They work for us. And the President of the United States, no matter who he thinks he is, can't take them away from us. He can't take our government away from us. We won't let him do that. It's our government. We paid for it. We told Congress to create these agencies. We want the Department of Education to work. We want Social Security to work. We want the government to do the job we hired them to do, and you can't send them home. You can't send them home. In closing, I want to say to President Trump and Musk and his other buddies, we will not bow, we will not bend, We will not take the knee. We will not pledge allegiance to you. We pledge allegiance to the Constitution. On behalf of federal employees who are the people, we are the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. That's the federal workforce. And this government will not perish. We will not let you do that to us. We chased a tyrant off our shores 250 years ago. We'll do it again now. Thank you. An injury to one is an injury to all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We're all riled up now, aren't we? Yeah. All right. So keep that energy for our next speaker, who embodies the revolutionary spirit of welcome that has defined America at its best. While tyrants build walls, true patriots build bridges. So friends, just as the founders created a nation that would welcome the huddled masses yearning to breathe free, Catherine Miller Wilson continues that vital American tradition. As executive director of HIAS, Pennsylvania since 2016, she leads an organization with deep historical roots. HIAS began as a Jewish response to help fellow refugees fleeing persecution, but in true revolutionary spirit, it expanded its mission in the 1970s to embrace refugees from all backgrounds, because they understood that liberty means nothing if not extended to all. So before HIAS, which is HIAS, PA, Catherine fought for justice at the Villanova Law School Civil Justice Clinic, the AIDS Law Project of Pennsylvania, and Community Legal Services. Today, she stands on Philadelphia's revolutionary ground to speak about the impact of executive orders on immigrants, how federal actions affect immigrant servicing agencies, and crucial historical lessons that remind us how policies that target some ultimately threaten all of us. So in the city where we first declared that all are created equal, please welcome a defender of that fundamental American promise, Catherine Miller Wilson.
Thank you, everybody. Can you hear me? I'm really proud to be here. And before I jump in, I'm loving all these signs. Everybody take a minute, look around you. Bring them high. They're fabulous. So again, good afternoon. I'm Catherine Miller Wilson. I'm the Executive Director of HIAS Pennsylvania, Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, a nod to our roots, but we help people of all faiths and backgrounds. And yes, our mission is a mission of welcome. You know why? Because they're welcome from people fleeing kings and tyrants. So I'm going to take my 5 minutes. I'm going to make sure everybody is up to speed on all of the appalling, disgusting things in the name of lies that have been done to date, so that we're all properly armed to fight back. So first of all, there is no longer any refugee resettlement in the United States. None. The program was shut down. The contracts were terminated. Then we all know about the declaration of the so-called invasion that the Supreme Court said was okay to invoke the Alien Enemies Act. This is a problem. We have to figure out how to fight because it's totally disingenuous. We haven't been invaded by anyone. We have homegrown problems, not invaders. 200 Venezuelans deported without charges, without a trial, without evidence. Disappeared in the middle of the night because of some tattoos. This is beyond outrageous. We have Kilmar Abrego Garcia, disappeared no charges, no evidence, and then the White House has the nerve to just continue the lie. Like if you just keep repeating that the sky is purple, then everybody will believe it's purple. That's right, it's not purple. Gilmar Abrego Garcia is not a gang member. And you know what? Even if he was, he deserves a trial. Bring him home! That's right! Mahmoud Khalil! Bring Mahmoud Khalil home! Outrageous! Protesting and then claiming that it's in the name of Jews. Bullshit! I'm a Jew. My agency is Jewish. This is not done to protect Jews. This is done to expand power and abuse. Rameza Ozturk, same thing. Disappeared in the middle of the night because of writing an editorial. Outrageous! Intolerable! And has nothing to do with protecting Jews.
They're vampires! That's right. Resist!
Due process matters. Why does it matter?
Because that's who we are!
Because that's who we are, that's right, because back when we were founded, there was no due process, right? There was the king and the king's edict. And if the king wished you to be thrown in jail, then you were thrown in jail. We created this country to prevent that. How dare anyone claiming to be part of our government then act precisely as the people we were fighting against? Why courts matter? Because it's part and parcel of due process. It's part of the checks and balances. It's part of how we protect what this nation is supposed to be. Courts are important. Okay, and what are the effects of everything that has happened so far? Extreme fear, loss of employers, loss of employees, loss of taxes, loss of spending power, loss of tourism, loss of population. How is any of this good for America? Okay, so what do we do about it? We have to demand the truth. Every fucking time that they lie to the media, you have to post back. For the Republicans to say that it's disgusting that Hollander went to visit Abrego because he was encouraging gang members, it's disgusting that any Republican would call Abrego a gang member when there have been no charges, no evidence, no trial. That's what's disgusting. Demand the rule of law. Demand it over and over again. Say that we will not let people be disappeared without a trial. We will not let people be disappeared without charges, without evidence, without a trial. It is unacceptable. And support those that stand up, support them loudly. Harvard, Georgetown, Perkins Coie. Support that loudly. And don't support the people that cowered in fear. Write about it, talk to your
Meet Jewel Johnson is a proud son of Point Breeze, South Philadelphia. Miss Jewel's academic journey includes a degree in history and political science from LaSalle, awesome, and an associate's degree in liberal arts with honors from one of my favorite places, the Community College of Philadelphia. Miss Jewel's dedication to his community organization shines. He's in leadership roles with Reclaim Philadelphia. And he canvasses alongside the Working Families Parties and Unite Here Local 274. Now, Medjool is awesome, but he's here for a specific reason. Medjool Johnson is a tour guide with the Black Journey Philadelphia. As a tour guide, oh yeah, he brings to life the almost always overlooked contributions of African Americans who fought against tyranny during our nation's founding. Today, at this peaceful but historic No Kings rally, marking the 250th anniversary of the start of the American Revolution, Jewel will illuminate the crucial role played by Black revolutionaries during our fight for freedom from monarchy. Please join me in welcoming Jewel Johnson, who will guide us.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Jewel K. Johnson, and I'm here representing the Black Journey, and the Reclaim Philadelphia, and many other organizations here today. We're here today to speak about how the Black revolutionary history of this of our revolution and of our city on this 250th anniversary of the shot heard round the world. 250 years ago today, at Lexington and Concord, the American War for Independence began, and the American Revolution, which we live in today. It was not a single moment. You are living in a revolution. Unfortunately, right now, we are living in an administration, under an administration that seeks to counter that revolution. We will not let that happen. No kings in my country. No kings in our country. I stand before you today as a fifth-generation descendant of enslaved people. Well, yes, it's important to remember that it is not a long time ago. I myself and any African American in my age range, I'm only 33 years old. We are just the great-great-grandchildren of the last slaves of this country. The last former enslaved of this country did not die until 1971. We stand before you today at the birthplace of the United States of America. Our hometown is America's hometown. Our hometown is the birthplace of one of the greatest revolutions in the history of the world. We stand here today, in front of Independence Hall, a building that, like the White House and the Capitol building after it in Washington, D.C., was built with enslaved African labor. Yes! We stand here by the President's house, where George Washington enslaved 9 people. 9 people, and 9 of the 341 people he enslaved in total. Our founders were not perfect individuals. The country that they created was not a perfect country. Its ideals are perfect, but of course its reality has never been. But it remains the ever-present task of each successive generation to make those professed ideals ever more manifestly real for ourselves and our posterity across this nation and around the world. We tell Donald Trump and Jamie Vance, you do not run our country. We run our country. The people of the United States of America. We run this nation. This country belongs to us and everyone here, whether you are an immigrant, whether you are descendants of enslaved people, wherever you are here today, a born and raised American, a born and raised proud, very proud American. A proud American, we stand here today to say no more kings in our country, no more kings ever in the United States of America. And we stand here today to say that that revolution may have began 250 years ago, but it continues to this very day. And the people here today will carry the spirit of that revolution forward. We are a country that was built on the principles of liberty, equality, justice, and humanity for all people. All people. While many people have not always believed in that. Yes, while we stand here, I stand here today as someone whose family's been here for at least 150 years on both sides. On sides, I was here in Philadelphia. Fleeing. We came here fleeing the Ku Klux Klan. And unfortunately, we now have a Klansman in the White House. Will Ching said, I fought like hell. I knocked on hundreds of thousands of doors for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. But that's fine. Said, that's fine. This next election, we'll make sure this is the end of Donald Trump. It is important to remember that Donald Trump was simply the symptom of larger problems in our nation. Our country, as I said, our ideals are perfect, but our reality has never been. To say that America is a perfect country would be a lie to my own face about my own face, and a slap in the face to my ancestors who suffered through the pain of the lash, and all of my contemporaries who deal today with mass incarceration and institutional racism. However, we remain resolute in our resolve that we will make sure that those words, all men are created equal, all human beings are created equal, are made true forever in this nation and across the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to march here in Philadelphia. We are going to march across this nation. We are going to march across this world, and we are going to make sure that fascism dies once and forever, once and for all. Let's march! Let's march! Philadelphia! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, Philadelphia! Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Kawakanaklenape-Hoking. Philadelphia, let's move forward. America, let's move forward. America, let's build democracy at home and abroad. Let's go!
The American Revolution continues in our footsteps today. Right? We've just heard powerful truths about the Black journey during revolutionary times. How the right for liberty had different meanings for different people. As we walk peacefully through these historic streets today, we carry those stories with us, knowing that the revolution remains unfinished for so many.
Remember that we are not alone in this peaceful fight. Today is a national day of action. As we speak, over 1 million people across all 50 states and around the world are rising up to say no to those who would be king. From coast to coast, Americans are declaring that we will not surrender our republic to unchecked power. We will fight it peacefully.
Now we march. But this is only the beginning of our peaceful revolutionary day together. We say, no king! Let's march!
No king! 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 democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Hey, how was your march? Those of you that are just coming back, how was it? All right, they are still coming, but I think we're gonna get started.
Woo! Welcome back, revolutionaries! The streets have heard your footsteps. Now let's make your voices heard and thunder. Thank you for that powerful march through the birthplace of American democracy. As we walk through these historic streets together, we honor those who came before us, while claiming our own place in the ongoing struggle against tyranny. Even Gritty stands with us today. May the orange monster in Philadelphia wants and respects.
We are 5051 Philadelphia! 50 peaceful protests! 50 United States! One movement! We are united. Are you standing with us? Yes! Just as the founders of this nation once gathered to declare independence from a king, we gather today to reaffirm that no person stands above the law! The threats we face may have changed since 1775, but the principle remains the same. Power must answer to the people!
In Philadelphia, 250 years ago, patriots faced the threat of tyranny. Today, we face the existential threat of climate catastrophe made more dangerous by the concentration of power, resources, and money in too few hands and their greed for more. The same forces that would crown kings would also sacrifice our planet's future, the resources that we all need, the land that we all live on, for profit and for power. The revolutionary spirit that was born on these streets demands that we confront this crisis with the courage that our forebears showed when they declared no kings.
To help us understand these critical challenges, I'm honored to introduce David Gibson, whose activism career began in 1981, y'all, with NYPIRG, before joining the Committee for a Sane Nuclear Policy. As organizing director of Peace, Justice, and Sustainability now, David has dedicated his life to fighting the same battle we continue today, opposing unchecked power that threatens both democracy and our very existence. While his accomplishments in the peace movement are numerous, being his daughter's father remains his most important role. David will speak to us about how the climate emergency and nuclear weapons are deeply connected to the autocratic powers, we resist. So please welcome resoundingly David Gibson.
You guys look beautiful. Thanks for coming out. So, this is an emergency, y'all, and if we don't act together, we're all gonna burn. Now, by definition, the king is not subject to the will of the people. Any attempt to dispose, dethrone, or resist one is against God's will. But if you don't even follow God's will, then you're a tyrant. And tyranny is an existential threat to our hard-won rights. And if we do not stop this, it'll be nearly impossible to stop the two other existential threats we face. The twin threats of the climate emergency and nuclear weapons. Remember those nuclear weapons? These threaten our future. We need to save the future, and that's why we're here today, to save the future. "2024 was Earth's hottest year on record, affecting millions of people around the globe.
Our house is on fire!
Our house is on fire! Trump is threatening the entire planet. He is pulling the U.S. out of the Paris Agreement. Declaring a national energy emergency to increase oil and gas development. Calling to end the Endangered Species Act and Arctic protections, declaring them, he's declaring them an obstacle to energy development. What a joke. Revoking electric vehicle targets and incentives for green energy. And he's eliminating a push for environmental justice, so when building new polluting facilities, they'll no longer consider environmental effects on poor and minority communities. Now, the environmental effects of nuclear weapons make climate change worse, and vice versa. They feed each other. They're two sides of the same coin. Because as climate change worsens, the chance for wars go up. And the more wars we have, the more unstable things get, the chances of nuclear war increase. Nuclear weapons harm us before they're even used. Yes! Uranium mining, nuclear waste dumps, and nuclear testing contaminate the earth and the sea. Militaries across the planet are huge energy users whose greenhouse gas emissions make significant contributions to the climate emergency we're in. Countries do not have to report their military emissions. This is called the military emissions gap. Scientists estimate that militaries around the world could be responsible for around 5.5% of global emissions. If the Earth's militaries were a country, they'd be the 4th largest emitter of climate gases in the world. The 5.5% estimate doesn't include the impact of war itself. Russia's war in Ukraine, in the first 2 years, boom, have caused emissions greater than the annual output of the Netherlands. And Trump is increasing the possible use of nuclear weapons. Under Trump, the U.S. is upgrading the nuclear arsenal, including the country's first new nuclear warhead in 40 years, the W-93. A new B-61-13 gravity nuclear bomb. 400 land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles to replace the ones we already have and we no longer need. A fleet of nuclear-armed strategic submarines, a new strategic bomber, the B-21, and an air-launched nuclear-tipped cruise missile. But it's worse. Trump may be triggering the fastest nuclear arms race since the Cold War. The U.S. threat to withdraw the U.S. from Europe has prompted countries around the world, from Germany to South Korea, to talking about building their own nuclear weapons. This is insane. But we can turn this around. During the Cold War, we negotiated with the Soviets while we were competing with them all around the world, and we set up nuclear arms agreements that reduced what was over 60,000 deployed nuclear weapons down to about 12,000 today. Thanks to the arms control agreements like the ones Trump and Bush ended, we're going to be going in the wrong direction. We need to finish the job, go back to nuclear arms agreements before nuclear weapons finish us. Join the campaign to save the future. Join us over there at the end of this rally to march to the EPA. We need to finish the job, go back to nuclear arms agreements. It's time to resist. No kings, no climate emergency, no nukes. Let's go!
All right, folks. In the revolutionary spirit of Philadelphia, we continue our stand against unchecked power wherever it appears. In this spirit. Thank you, folks. I'm honored to introduce Sam Khattab, a Palestinian-American Christian and co-founder of the Prayers for Peace Alliance. This remarkable organization, and seriously, if you haven't heard of them, listen up. They embody the same revolutionary, peaceful principles of justice and human dignity. They bring Palestinians and Jews together in pursuit of peace. Just as our forebears stood against tyranny, Sam and Prayers for Peace believe that we are not destined to hate each other. Instead, Sam and his organization elevate our shared humanity. When Sam and his co-founders witnessed the devastating loss of innocent Palestinian and Israeli lives, he felt compelled to stand up and declare, "This is wrong." This echoes the No King ethos that we are talking about today. The Prayers for Peace Alliance, he helps create, unites people of different faiths who collectively say, enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough! One more time! Enough is enough! Awesome. Through the Prayers for Peace Alliance, Sam has helped organize powerful solidarity events in Philadelphia. Sam demonstrates that we can simultaneously grieve each other's losses while urgently calling for justice and peace. Sam and the Prayers for a Peace Alliance work reminds us that opposition to violence and grows from rivulets into streams, and from streams into rivers, and ultimately into a worldwide ocean of resistance against injustice. Please welcome, with your best Philadelphian patriotic voices, co-founder of Prayers for Peace Alliance, Sam Khattab!
Wow, that was amazing. What's amazing is seeing the vastness of the crowd here, the multitudes, all coming out to speak about no more injustice. Friends, Philadelphians, no matter where you come from, you always gotta say, when you see something wrong, you say it's wrong. If my brother's doing it, he's wrong. If my cousin's doing it, he's wrong. If my neighbor's doing it, he's wrong. You gotta speak up. We cannot be quiet. We have a man who became a president, and now he thinks he's king. Except only he says that when he wants to pursue his authority. When you say, bring back Garcia, he says what? I don't have the power. This is the mockery of our justice. You cannot have somebody above the law. when we have an administration full of people now, except they didn't swear their allegiance to the Constitution. What happened? The Constitution is what rides us, what dictates where we go, where we come from. What happens to us? It's the Constitution, not the president, not the vice president, no one, not a Democrat, not a Republican, we're all the people. Friends, Prayers for Peace Alliance is an example of bringing Jews and Palestinians to stand next to each other and say, not in our name no more. Do not use us as an excuse. The joy of being an American is being able to speak up freely, to dissent when we don't like what we hear. Mahmoud Khalil, what did he do? He said, stop bombing Gaza. He didn't say go bomb Israel. He said stop bombing Gaza. How wrong can that be? We need a nation to stand together. My parents came to this country not because we had fancy F-16s, not because we had nuclear weapons. My parents came here because they looked to the Constitution, looked to the ability to speak freely, to understand, to have a freedom of religion, freedom of faith. I implore every one of you, do not sacrifice your values, do not sacrifice your principles. Stay firm in them, no matter who's in the White House, if it's our friend. I want to share a small, irrelevant story a little bit about how it is to live in a monarchy, if you really want to support a king. Two of my nephews, 10 years old, were in an airport in Jordan, and they were flipping the coin to see heads or tails. Well, naturally, the head is the head of the king on the coin. So they're flipping up, and they're putting it on the ground, stomping on it, and saying, heads, tails, heads, tails. Well, one soldier looked at them and came over and whacked them in the head. 10-year-old kids. And you know why he whacked them? He says, how dare you step on the head of the king? But this is where we head. This is where we're going if we don't stop it. We need to say no. And by the way, it's not just about Republicans. We need to have our Democratic leaders also. We can't have people above the law. We can't have government. Government cannot be above the law. We must stand together. Look at you. Look at everybody here. Look at the signs, the diversity. It's amazing. I love it. Your presence here gives me hope that we're doing the right thing. Yes. We're not some fringe group out there saying some crazy things. All we're saying is, we are Americans. We're the people, and as the people, we have a constitution, and that's the law. That's the final right. Thank you. Happy Easter, happy holidays. Blessings to every one of you, and more important, hug your family, and go to your neighbors. Tell them what you saw today. Tell them what you experienced, and tell them bigotry we don't accept. Violence we don't accept. And just remember, if you're okay with kids and children getting bombed and obliterated in Gaza, then you're okay with what's happened in Florida with the college shootings. Then you're okay with the school shootings. Then you're okay with killings right here in the streets of Philadelphia. We must reject that. Violence is wrong, no matter who has it.
Thank you, Sam. Okay, that was great. As we continue our stand against unchecked power, we recognize that the revolutionary promise of equality remains unfulfilled for many in our communities. I'm proud to introduce our next speaker, Diana Robinson, co-executive director at Make the Road, Pennsylvania. In the tradition of Philadelphia's revolutionary history, Diana leads an organization that builds power for justice in Latinx, Black, immigrant communities, and working class communities of color across Pennsylvania. From Philadelphia to Allentown, Reading, and Hazleton. So just as the founders declared that we all are created equal, Diana fights to make that promise real for those who face modern tyranny through discrimination, disenfranchisement, and deportation. Her work embodies our No Kings principle by ensuring that power flows from the people. All people. And that's regardless of immigration status, language, or zip code. So please welcome a powerful voice in our ongoing revolution for justice, Diana Robinson.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. As was just said, I'm Diana Robinson, co-executive director of Make the Road, Pennsylvania, proud daughter of immigrants from República Dominicana and Providence, Colombia, proud daughter of a home health aide and a plastic manufacturing factory worker, proud daughter of union members, SEIU and the Teamsters. On November 6th, one day after the 2024 presidential elections, our member leader in Reading sent us these words. Hoy es un día muy difícil para mí y sé que para ustedes también. Pero les cuento que aprendí que las mejores luchas se hacen desde la oposición. Y aquí estoy en la mejor disposición de seguir adelante. Dolida, pero no derrotada. Con la mejor disposición de seguir luchando por mi futuro y el futuro de los míos. Today is a difficult day for me, and I know for you too. But I tell you what I've learned. The greatest struggles are won from the opposition, and I'm here today with the best position to move forward. Hurt, but not defeated. With the best disposition to continue fighting for my future and the future of my beloved community. Our rights are being attacked at every level, and we need all of us to fight back. We must not forget that when fear and division are used for tools of governance, we all lose. We must protect immigrant rights. We must protect union and worker rights. Voting rights, LGBTQ rights. And we must protect our democracy. No kings! of immigrants. Regardless of their status, immigrants have the same rights as U.S. citizens, including protection from discrimination, the right to due process, freedom of speech, access to the court system. The truth is that immigrants in this country are facing some of the worst attacks we've ever seen. Far-right MAGA goals is to mass detention and mass deportation, tearing apart due process and legal protections like DACA, gutting asylum rights, and actively criminalizing and terrorizing innocent immigrant families and communities by making hundreds and hundreds of detentions daily. There are about 50,000 immigrants that have been detained since January of this year. As immigrants, we are essential contributors to our community. We are your neighbors, your co-workers. We are your classmates. We are farm workers, small business owners, and we are all part of the community that we all build together. No government should have the power to abduct our neighbors, rip parents away from their children, and profit from human suffering. We must refuse to live in a country where our neighbors, family members can be taken away without due process, violating their human and civil rights. We must not feed into the hateful rhetoric, scapegoating, division, and fear-mongering. No kings! No kings! No kings! No kings! Just a few weeks ago, in Philadelphia, dozens of armed law enforcement agents and 12 unmarked SUVs were bagging house doors, terrorizing the Mayfair immigrant community. What would it take for all of us to demand dignity and respect for our immigrant neighbors and defend civil rights and human rights? Now is not the time for performative actions. It is a time for fierce advocacy and unabashed support. Now is not the time to step down. Now is the time to double down. In difficult times that we need to take bold collective action like we're doing here today. So, I have something for you. I call for you today to join us on May 5th at 11 a.m. at the state capitol steps for a day of solidarity with immigrants, to continue to denounce what's happening, to celebrate the diverse immigrant communities that make Pennsylvania thrive, and to demand that Governor Shapiro use his executive powers to protect the most vulnerable in Pennsylvania. Let's fight against oligarchy. No kings! No kings! No kings! No kings! Let's unite against an authoritarian government. We have the power. We have the power. We must demand that our local and state elected leaders fight like hell to protect us, and anything less is a betrayal of the families, workers, and communities that make Pennsylvania stronger. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Thank you, and see you on May 5th.
For our last speaker today, we bring our peaceful but revolutionary circle to completion with a leader who embodies our No Kings principle. No kings! 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 You guys listen, nice. We're gonna go together as a people, I'm telling you. We can make nice work. We keep working like this. Our final speaker today continues Philadelphia's proud tradition of challenging tyranny and established power structures. Since 2017, State Representative Chris Rabb, better known as Rep Rabb, oh yeah, has served Pennsylvania's 200th legislative district for 5 terms. Importantly, he defeated the establishment-backed incumbent. Rep Rabb is a former professor at Temple University and a former U.S. Senate staffer. He understands how powerful institutions can displace vulnerable communities and silence dissenting voices like ours. Just as the founders of this nation stood against monarchy, Rep Rabb stands against modern forms of unchecked power. Rep Rabb is a genealogist and a descendant of abolitionists and civil rights activists. Rep Rabb carries forward the revolutionary spirit that was first ignited on these streets 250 years ago. In the Pennsylvania State House, Rep Rabb champions voter rights, climate action, community well-being as the most senior progressive legislator. Oh, he's so awesome. Rep Rabb has been outspoken, and if you know him, you know he's outspoken, against squelching the free expression and undue influence of money in politics. On this 250th anniversary of the start of the American Revolution, as we stand together to say, no kings, no kings, no kings, no kings, no kings, no kings. Please welcome a true advocate for democratic values and community voices, our very own Rep Rabb.
We the people! We the people! We the people! It's good to be back. Be back in community. Amelia mentioned that I'm a genealogist and family historian, and I take great pride in descending from abolitionists and civil rights activists and other aggressively badass Americans. But I'm staring at Independence Hall here, and I feel that I have to take liberty, no pun intended, to say that I also descend from human traffickers. I descend from a signer of the Declaration of Independence named Philip Livingston, who represented New York, who was part of a 5-generation family business of human traffickers, who built his wealth off the exploitation of enslaved labor, inclusive of my great-great-great-grandmother Barbara Williams. They were not thought of in Independence Hall 250 years ago. We the people meant something much more narrow 250 years ago. But I stand before you without shame. Without any shame or guilt. Because I'm on the right side of history. I know where I am. And I know what my legacy is. It's a shared legacy, isn't it? We aren't here because something happened. We're here because we made it happen. We do not exalt monarchs here, do we? No. There are no kings amongst us that rule us, are they? And we want to keep it that way, don't we? But first we have to acknowledge some unpleasant truths. Because many times in these environments, people will say, this is un-American. Not true. All of this is America. All of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. This is about as American as it gets. But what piece of America do we claim and seek to reclaim to find a greatness that we have never truly known? I'm not supposed to say that. I'm an elected official. I'm using the wrong speech. I'm supposed to say that we have to return to greatness. At our best, it's when people with goodness in their heart came together to make this nation better. That's why we're here. We want to be a part of a nation that we can be proud of. That when we say we the people, it means everyone. Everyone. Even people who we don't agree with. That's the beauty of the First Amendment. It's not coming together because we're all saying the same thing. We have different lived experiences. We have shared values. We're finding our way amidst extraordinary chaos. And that's what they want. They want chaos. And they want to breed fear. This is how we're going to fuck fear. This right here. When we realize that we're not alone. I'm not done. Not only are we not alone, but we are actually the majority. And if you watch closely enough, you're going to realize that they fear us. And that is a glorious feeling. Because they're not supposed to be afraid of us, because they have billions of dollars. They have institutions and corporations and all the fancy titles. Why could they possibly be afraid of us? Because we're the people. We have the power, but only if we choose to exercise it. Now, I've been talking a lot. I was elected on the same day as what's his name in 2016. So that was a challenging victory for me. And I had to become a civic therapist overnight.
where people are like, what are we gonna do? Everything's, gone to hell. What are we gonna do? And I said, it's gonna be tough. But we've been through this before. Perhaps not in our lifetimes, but we've been through this before, and we've come out on the other side better. And it wasn't an election cycle, people. It wasn't because we were taking our cues from fucking politicians. I hope you will indulge my profanity. Because I do it not to pander, but to express my passion about something we care enough about to assemble here today in front of Independence Hall. Because there's something far worse than bad words. And that's bad policies, bad practices, bad systems, systems that kneel at the feet of despots who are illegally kidnapping our brothers and sisters, who are deporting people just because they believe in diversity, racial justice, a free Palestine. But I gotta tell you folks, when I said back in 2017 after I took office that our fates are intertwined, that was not performative rhetoric. That's the truth. But it's taken many of us to realize just how true that is. Because so many of us thought we were safe. But when you see tenured, white, male, straight, Ivy League professors leaving the fucking country, that should tell you your maleness will not save you. Your degrees will not save you. Your aggressive heterosexuality will not save you. Your prized Costco membership card will not save you. What's gonna save us? Us! We're the ones we've been waiting for. We save us! We save us! We save us! I don't know why I'm holding this. I don't need this. In conclusion, because I'm not trying to have Gritty get up here and it become a meme. How do we address fear in this moment? We have to acknowledge that we have very good reason to have fear in our hearts. It is okay. But we can't let it beat us. That's what courage is all about. Courage is not fearlessness. That's absurd. Do you believe that these downtrodden folks 250 years ago who couldn't read or write, who never went beyond 2 miles of where they were born, were fearless? No, they were scared shitless. They were coming up against an empire, a king. They didn't know anyone from any other colony. They didn't have trust or significant interaction with folks from other places across the other colonies. There was distrust. There were competing interests. There were different cultures. And it wasn't just young white guys holding muskets, was it, folks? I imagine there were some women involved. Is that fair to say, people? Do you think there's some women involved in all of this? Might there have been some indigenous people as well? Maybe we throw into that mix enslaved and unfree black folk? It was extraordinarily diverse in a number of ways, just like today, 250 years ago. So, when we think about the fear that they are spreading today, we need to face it. And that requires courage, but collective courage, because no one does it alone. No one does it alone, folks. You know this. And we are better when we come together and acknowledge that we're going to have some challenges. When I look at this amazing sea of faces here, I see that we're assembled in a city with a black plurality, with a small minority of black folk here today. And I say that not with judgment. I say that with transparency and authenticity, because I represent a majority black district in Northwest Philly that I love. And I want you to understand that solidarity takes many forms. Showing up takes many forms. If there are undocumented brothers and sisters of ours who are here, it is at extraordinary risk for them. If you are here because you're a federal employee, that's courage. You are at extraordinary risk. If you believe in a free Palestine and are not afraid to say so, you are at risk. And how do I know? Because I'm at risk. And no fancy title is going to protect me. And I think about that every time I leave my house. And I think of my children. So, what I want to say to you all is, this isn't going to be easy. It's not going to be linear. It's not always going to be fun. But we have to find joy. We have to find a shared resolve to do the real work. This is part of it. Protests matter. Don't let anyone tell you that protests don't matter. But here's the thing. Voting matters, but it's not enough. Let me say that again. Voting matters, but it's not enough, because politicians won't save us. The Democratic Party will not save us. Election cycles will not save us. Movement based on collective action, organizing, humanity, empathy, shared prosperity. That's what's going to save us. We're the people. We're the people. We're the people. Look around. Look around. Seriously, look around. What you see is an emerging community of struggle. Think about that term. A community of struggle. 100% of you here today believe that there is a common struggle that unites us and inspires us to do better, to work harder, to be more caring, more creative. We are a community of struggle, and it's only because of us that we will make this the next chapter. Revolution, folks. No kings. No kings. No kings. Thank you.
We have 3 minutes to give you our closing statement, which includes a lot of ideas about how you can move beyond just voting, because you should vote, but it's not enough. You should vote,
But it's not enough.
you should vote,
But it's not enough.
and if you're not registered to vote, there's a voting registration table right over here. Thank you. So, give us 2.5 to 3 minutes
Yeah?
All right.
And you go first. Get it. All right. Ready. Thank you, everyone. The revolution that began here 250 years ago now lives in each of us. Today, we've heard about workers' rights.
Yes!
The Black Journey.
Yes!
Immigration justice.
Yes!
The crisis in Gaza.
Yes!
The climate catastrophe.
Yes!
And nuclear proliferation.
Yes!
And the dangers of executive overreach. Each of these struggles is connected by a single thread: the fight against unchecked power.
Yep.
So just as our founders rejected monarchy, we reject all forms of tyranny.
Awesome! We are 5051 Philadelphia! That stands for 50 peaceful protests, 50 United States, one movement! We stand in solidarity with marginalized groups, those who were here before America was founded, those who built this country and were never thanked for it, those who came here in search of a better life, and everyone else being crushed by the gears of power.
But revolution demands action. Demands action. We can't just sit on our hands and do nothing. Like Gritty, Philadelphia's own chaos-embracing symbol of resistance. We must be bold and unrelenting.
Yes!
Working both within and outside the system. And here's what we need from each one of you.
Okay, listen up!
First, register and vote. Our democracy thrives when we participate. Call your representatives and hold them accountable. The ballot box remains our first line of defense.
Yes! Yes! Second, are you taking notes? Are you writing this down? Second, protest peacefully! History has proven that our unified, non-violent resistance is twice as effective as toppling tyrannical regimes as armed struggle. When just 3.5% of us stand together in peaceful defiance, no government on earth can defy us.
But protest isn't everything. True change. Yep. It requires more than just voting and just protesting.
Yep.
There's more that we can do. So listen up.
Build power where you are. That means organize your workplace, your campus, your apartment building, the people at your dog park. Connect with those around you. Next. Kept you hanging.
Educate and discuss. Learn about our revolutionary history and share knowledge with others.
Yes.
Understanding how ordinary people have challenged powerful interests throughout history strengthens our resolve.
Yes.
And third, create community. We're creating community right now, right here.
Yes.
Go to your neighbors.
Yes.
Create community with them.
Yes.
Learn about what's happening locally.
Yes.
Form networks of support and
Yes.
mutual aid
Yes.
that help people meet their needs when institutions fail them, because they will fail
will.
them.
Yes.
They are failing them right now.
Yes. And yes, when necessary, engage in peaceful, direct action. For example, support strikes, support boycotts, go to additional protests that shine light on the injustice that all Americans are suffering from right now.
Our movement embraces many strategies in this fight against modern tyranny. There is no single path forward. Each of us contributes in our own way to building a society where power truly rests with the people.
As we leave this hallowed and historic ground today, remember, we are fighting for a truly democratic society. We want everyone to have a voice.
And as we leave this hallowed ground today, remember, we are fighting for a truly democratic society where power flows from the bottom up.